Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing another rec review at around 1200 elo, and this time we got Yeti Monk playing as the Georgians against Daniel playing as the Teutons. This should be a really easy win for the Georgians, so I'm excited to see what happens here, and I'll be doing the review from Yeti Monk's perspective here. Yeah, let's go ahead and hop right in. So 1200 elo is a really good elo to review in my opinion, because I know a lot of people are stuck around this elo. Because as you try to improve, what usually happens is, like, once you learn the basics, that can kind of get you out of 1100 elo. But then 1200, the players get a little bit better, and you're gonna have to like tighten things up. You're gonna have to be playing a little bit more solid. So let's take a look at this one. We got Georgians, probably one of the best civs in the game. I think it's the best civ in the game at the moment for 1v1 Arabia. Let's see what you can do. So going for the standard build here. This guy's a Patreon member, so I know he's using like the best builds we got available there. There we go. Yeah, perfect. So the build is basically all to food, scout with the mule carts, and then go to it only after you click up. That's like the whole concept of it. I know I'm just leaking it, but it's whatever. It's whatever. It's what it is. So let's take a look. So far, so good. Decent scouting. Not too bad on the scouting. Get the mule cart as well. Getting those guys in, and then running back for your deer. Yeah, one thing I didn't like a minor note, you were already at your deer here, then you went all the way around just to find the 2 sheep, and then you went right back to your deer. What would be way better is that you just lure deer, 1, 2, even the third if you want, and then when you're done, just do one run here, and then go straight to scout your opponent. Here you did like a whole loop, a whole circle, and you just found the 2 sheep right away, which is unnecessary. So if you plan to lure deer, if you already found your boars and like a couple of your sheep, don't sweat about scouting. Like especially if you still have your mule cart, you can just start luring right away. Okay, looking like we had a slight disaster getting housed a bit. No, we didn't get housed. You saved it. Nice. No disaster. Nice. Okay, and now luring deer is taking a little bit of a hold. That's completely fine. It's hard to lure deer while managing everything else. So now you should be clicking up a lot earlier. Like, I'm not sure what happened. I'm really not sure what happened here. You should be able to click up. Yeah, I don't know why you're doing so much pop at this point. 20 pop, no loom. It's not a bad build. Like, I don't mind that, but you should be able to do 17 pop, no loom. So I'm not sure what exactly is going wrong there. That like you have like inefficiency. From what I saw, it was, I guess your deer coming in late definitely hurt like a fast uptime. But from what I saw, you had Vils kind of like walking around a little bit too much. If you practice like the Dark Age efficiency, you can do a lot. You can get a lot more res in there. And that's something I want to do for a video. I want to watch like a random game, see how much elo they see how much res they get at a certain point with their Dark Age build, and then try to mimic the same one and show you guys just how much you're missing from efficiency. But yeah, overall it's not too bad. We send 7 to wood. Yep, that's good. Few on the straggler, that's good as well. We'll go for the scout rush most likely. And so the problem with being up a little later though, like I do want to talk about that. If you do like 20 pop, yeah, 20 pop no loom. The problem with doing that is that now like your opponent's starting to wall. And I get asked this question a lot, like what do I do after my scouts like just run into walls? And usually the point is you want to, especially in like modern AV2, you want to just hit them before they get the walls up with the scout rush. So that's why, especially with Georgians, you'd get free wins if you just practice your Dark Age and get it down to at least 18 pop no doom. That should be like easy. That should be easy. And you can watch how I do it. I can do 17 no loom. Most pros can. It's not that difficult. But 18 pop no loom should be very, very manageable. And in that case, you just have your units come out faster. Now, anyways, that aside, let's see what you can do here. Getting housed. You would not get housed if you follow the principle I talked about. After you make your stable, 1 vil walls one side, 1 vil walls the other, and you wall with a mix of palisade and houses. If you follow that, you'd never get housed. Reminder. I talk about that very often. If you watch all of my coaching videos, you know that. Sometimes you forget, so I understand. I like the spear forward, that's good. Putting pressure. In fact, like actually our opponent is the guy doing random stuff here. He's going scout and he's on like gold for some reason. Ooh, that's really bad. We lost a Georgian scout. Those guys heal. You don't want to be losing those. We are definitely slow to farms as well. We gotta farm faster. Yeah, there we go. That's good. So now we have 11 on wood. Mule cart can be closer as well. Yeah, you gotta get that mule cart in closer. 100%. Fast forward a little bit here. Also, our scout rush took a long time to hit, by the way. Yeah, I don't like this. Like, our scout, it's like 30 minutes. We haven't really gotten a proper attack. So what I'd recommend is I'd really work on getting to 3 scouts, like, very fast. Like, the first scout kind of wasted there. I would just chill until you get 3 scouts. If you can't manage, like, the first 1 or 2 scout attack, wait till 3 scouts. No shame in doing that, because 3 scouts can kill spear and can kill villagers a lot more easily. So, yeah, if there's 2 spear, just avoid them. But 3 scouts is kind of like the magic number there. What ends up happening is if you run around with less scouts, then you end up losing HP on them and taking damage and all that. Okay. There you go. Alright, more scouts coming out. Okay, so here we're not making more scouts, so we should try to look to click up the castle. Mill has finished, so we're gonna go seed farms. Okay. Yeah, that mule cart has to move. Yeah, you're losing so much wood on that. That mule cart has to move. I don't know why it's not moving automatically. Sometimes it moves automatically, but yeah, that one just has to move. Whenever you're playing the Georgians, you have to always remember to like move the mule cart forward, move the mule cart forward. It's so important. Now we make another mule cart for the gold. Fair. And yeah, you didn't really get anything done with your scout rush. This is what I think happens at a lot of games in this yellow bracket, is that you guys scout rush, but you don't actually get anything done. In fact, I would argue that you're kind of running like a chicken with its head cut off, with no real purpose, just kind of running around and making noise, which is not bad, because you at least force your opponent to make spears and all that. But if you watch, like, let's say if you watch like a pro scout rush, like let's say one of my scout rush games, which I do it very often, I'm like always running in with 3 scouts looking to trap a vill. If I see a spear, I run to the other side and I look to trap a vill somewhere else. And I know it might be like a speed issue, like you can't get to anything at once, but everything at once. But a good tactic is that if you've got nothing to do at home, like you made like 3 farms, you're out of wood, spend the next 30 seconds and run with purpose with your scouts and look to do something substantial. All right, if you see a spear, run straight through the spear, like run around it and look for something. Like really try to find some value with that scout rush, because like this, I really don't like how this game played out so far, because it felt like if all of your games are playing out like this, we are never ever winning a game pre-feudal age. And I think a lot of games should be won, or not pre-feudal age, sorry, pre-castle age. I think a lot of games should be won pre-castle age at this elo bracket, or at least you should get an advantage pre-castle age, at the very least, if you're not going to win the game completely, which is a bit, more difficult. Either way, opponent's full walled here, so we're going to go 2 stable knights. Thing is, here, I don't mind the 2 stable knights, but you have to realize that Teuton knights are better in the long run. So playing knights versus Teutons, you're going to be down 1 attack. You do have husbandry, though, which is good. A much better play, and if you see, like, especially top-level players right now, is to go cav archers with Georgians. They heal, and all you got to do is make a 3-range or 2-range switch instead of that second stable, get bloodlines, and then go for CA. And that would be infinitely better versus the Teutons. So if you plan to play Georgians long term, which I recommend, to be honest with you, I would really fix up the Dark Age, get handy with the mule carts, or get better accustomed to the mule cart moving, and then look to do better damage to Scout Rush, and then decide whether to go Knights or CA. And that's a really good way to play the Georgians. So in this case, 100% going Knights here is a mistake, 100%, because of just how much better Cav Archers would be. Cav Archers are a bit harder to use, but I've done some coaching at like 1000 elo even, and with a bit of encouragement, that guy was able to get CA out, break into the guy's wall, and destroy him. So I'm sure at 1200 elo you can manage CA. Again, it's one of the harder units to use, but I think you guys can manage it 100%. So at this point, again, another problem with Knights is that he was fully walled. So like you're not really doing much with it. Break in. Back home on 3TC. I do like how fast you got the 3TC. You're actually building up a vill lead. Despite everything that could have been better, you're building up a vill lead. And that's probably enough to win the game. So that's good. Another thing you want to go for is the church. So whenever you're playing Georgians, you want to make a church near, you know, gold, near farms, near wood. If you can get all three, in this case, like a church here, that is fantastic. Do that. If not, just make, you know, a church on your wood farms or your gold farms. But here you can get all three. So church here, 100% would boost your economy. And you need it for monks anyway, which are floating gold, so why not? Also, if you're floating resources like this, you got to get a market and just fix it, or you got to drop some farms. There we go. Very good. I feel like this video is turned into like a tutorial on how to play Georgians, because it is the best civ right now, or at least one of them at the very least. So getting this video out there on how to play Georgians, or how to better play Georgians, is going to be good information for you guys on the ranked ladder. I don't want it to be turned into like a Georgian fiesta, but like at the end of the day, it is just a really good civ at the moment. You go for a church here. I'm not even sure if you're aware of the economy boost that it gives, because it seems like you're just building it for defense. So just keep that in mind. Don't forget about bonuses. Yeah, mule cart's not being moved as well. If you random Georgians, this would make a lot more sense, by the way, because you're not using their bonuses like you should, which would make a lot more sense if you random them. So this is the situation I was talking about. Now you're running into a situation where Teuton Knights are stronger than yours, and our opponent is investing heavier into Knights. He's actually on 2 TCs only. So the situation here is that we're playing with a weaker unit, and you have to play on defense, which is it's a hard thing to do. I think you're still winning. What you have to do now is stabilize your economy and either get a defensive castle, start making Manaspa your stronger unit, or get a defensive castle and stabilize, and just prevent him from pushing you, and then wait till late game where you can get like halbs and whatnot. Yeah, also this late game is a bit difficult as well. Like if you don't play CA against Teutons, the late game is like what? Manaspa halb? Like halb hand cannoneer, but then they just get bombard cannon, and they kind of breaks the like the match a little bit for you. So like Jordans aren't better than Teutons in late game necessarily in the setup. Okay, you're making a huge mistake here. You're trying to go imp randomly. I hope you don't die here. The castle's good. Going imp after castle is not bad. But what I would say here is that you see your opponent's launching a forward siege push, and he's got a lot of knights. So I would say like before imp, I would worry about getting like a counter unit out. I know you have monks and everything. Market is good. It's desperately needed. So I think what I would do here is I would probably make a castle and spam Manaspa with a few pikes as well at the same time. And then get skip Imperial Age. I'd make 3-4 barracks and spam pikes and Manaspa, because I don't feel like I'm stable. Or I'd buy a second castle and then go in. Those are your two choices. So you're going up to imp. What are you going to make? Let's take a look. At this point, a second castle. Like you should know your opponent is heavy castle age. By the way, at this point, just generally speaking, guys, you know you clicked up the imp. You know you went 3TC right away. You know your opponent has more army than you. Either he's the way better player and is doing just a crazy job, or he's sacrificing his economy to get out more army. This is natural. You know this because you have a good economy, and you know that you don't have enough resources for this much army plus Imperial Age. So you should know that behind this, your opponent likely has less economy than you. So with that in mind, what you want to do is stabilize, get a castle, and know that if you just defend, you'll be fine. That's what your mindset should be. Now, you made a few monks. This is what I don't like. It feels like you had a little bit of panic here. Everything's getting messy, which is why I don't like you clicking up the Imperial Age and putting yourself in the situation where you're on perma defense. Because now things are getting very messy. And it feels like you don't really know what to do now, because you're kind of floating a lot of res and not doing a whole lot. Again, if you got a castle, you would have defended all of this. Yeah, castle now. Now you realize it's not bad. It's not too late. I think it's still manageable. But what's your game plan? I don't even know what you want to do here. You have so much res. You have so much res, and I don't really understand your game plan still. I like that you got bot arrow. It's good to hold. Yeah, it's like actually really good defense with villas and castles. Kind of impressive. That's actually quite good. That was the most impressive thing you did all game. But the question, like, the big question is, what are you going for? Like, what are you doing? You want to go hand cannoneer. But you want to go hand cannoneer versus a guy going knights? Like, don't knights just beat hand cannoneer? Because the way I see it is if we just open halb and then push it back with halb and then switch to hand cannoneer, that's probably just a better order of things, right? So now we're going to go for hand cannoneer. It's a slow unit to bring out. So we're going to have like coinage. Coinage. Oh my god. Yeah. Brother. That's not it. Okay, that's a misclick, guys. Don't roast it. Don't roast him in the comment. That's a misclick for sure. 100% that's a misclick. Okay, yeah, so the problem here is that, like... Oh, you're committing to monks. Okay, listen, monks is not a unit. Like, it's a supporting unit, but we don't go for monks. Yeah, you're like committing to monks. We don't go for monks as the only unit, especially against like mass knights, especially against Teutons, right? Oh, sorry. I'm just really surprised you still don't have a single like unit out in the field. Like monks alone is not it. Yeah, this is in my opinion where you lost the game. Right here. Like the past like 10 minutes rather. Because you defended pretty well, but you're trying to push it back without getting a unit. Remember, late game, you need a gold unit, a food unit, or no gold costing unit, a trash unit, and a siege unit. And you also, like another combination is like you want one melee unit, one range unit, one siege unit. Right? That's another combination you can go for. In this case, though, you're just not making a single unit. You're now getting Cavalier, but you're already up against Cavalier. So you kind of have to play a bit more simple logic. Like, you're up against Cavalier. It's not complicated. You're up against Knights, we go Halb. You know what I mean? Keep it really simple. Even if you're scared of the Scorpions, you just spam Halbs. Like, Halb, and then if you're scared of Scorpion, you get something else that counters them. Like, Hand Cannoneer can do okay against Scorpions. Hussar can do well against Scorpions. Manaspa, for example. But what ends up happening here, yeah, I mean, look at the monks, right? Even with coinage, monks aren't doing well. And this is the problem. So what's a shame is that I actually think you had better fundamentals than the opponent player in terms of getting to 3DC first, building up a Vil lead, defensive castle. I think you had like really good fundamentals. Not to disrespect your opponent, he also played pretty well. You know, it was a good game from him. But I think we got like a 30 Vil lead. Like, I would prefer your position. I think you were in a winning position. But you just got to translate that into units faster. And yeah, I think just keeping it simple. Like, there's no reason not to go Halb here. Like, I'm actually surprised it was even like hard to come up with that. So my question to you is like, why not Halb? And why is it not easy for you to come to that Halb conclusion when there's 45 knights in the field? Now we're doing it. Nice. Okay. Better late than never. Honestly, we might still win this game. If we get to Halb, Halb Hand Cannoneer is a good comp. I just hope we don't get snowballed. Because now we're losing our castles. Yeah, now we might get snowballed. 5,000 food. We're starting to get the pikes out. Yeah, it's too late now. It's really just too late. Yeah. Like, I'm glad you thought about it in the end. Like, that's really good. But I'm really surprised you couldn't come up with that like early. And just went straight for the counter unit. But like, some more generic advice for you as well is that when you're going up to Imperial Age, you should already have a game plan of what your composition will be like. So the way you do it is that you think about it in advance. You think about it in advance so you don't have to like panic get to a composition. So you click up the Imperial Age, you're like, okay, this guy's got a lot of knights. Let's click up the Imperial Age. Now I gotta spend my resources. I'm just gonna go pikes to get myself some breathing room. And then you just add 6 barrack pike, and you start putting pressure, and you start reclaiming your map. And then after that, if you start, the pikes are doing work, and you want like another unit, then you're like, okay, let's go Hand Cannoneer as well. So you can make a decision in stages, but you need to at least have exactly what you're looking for and what you want to go for, your idea of a composition in mind as soon as you get to Imperial Age, as soon as you click to Imperial Age, 100%. If you don't have it in mind, if you don't know what you're getting out of Imperial Age, don't click up to Imperial Age. Stay in Castle Age and make some army. That's like the general rule that will help you guys out a lot. Also, I think this video really showcased what like missed potential we had with the Georgians. So I hope this video can actually help you guys play the Georgians to a higher degree. Because at the end of the day, Georgians are a really good civ. And this game, I'm not going to lie, Yeti, you missed like a lot of their bonuses. Like, they looked like a generic civ in this game. You had a lot more bonuses that you could have used to make the Georgians look a lot better. But that's okay. And I think there's a lot to learn here. And I would recommend playing more of the Georgians if you enjoy them. I think they're a good civ right now. Highly recommend playing them. All right, that's gonna be it for this react review. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you guys did enjoy it on YouTube as well. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys did enjoy. And the last thing I'll say is that, I mean, take a look at the units you made. It's just like a numbers game. He just had like 3 times the units you made, basically. Well, not 3 times, but let's say double the units you made, basically. And that's just what ended up winning him the game. Yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Check me out on Twitch if you guys want to see my live streams, and check me out on Patreon if you guys want to get better with all my guides and build better videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.